Today we're gonna see if it's worth building your own snowboard or if you should just go to the store and buy one. And spoiler alert, this is the aftermath. I'd say we're in for quite the adventure. We're back amongst our supplies. The first thing we need to do is make a mold of this snowboard. So I'm gonna take some of this over there and we're gonna trace my old snowboard. Okay, we have to make a mold of our snowboard. So if you don't have a snowboard lying around, you can find a template online or you can get sizes for however big it's supposed to be and what the layout of it is supposed to be. But I'm gonna use my old trusty Steve here, my old snowboard. All right, we're gonna cut off the excess of this board. Halfway through, I was like, I should definitely pull up my hair. Wow! So far, so good! I'm so proud of myself. Now that we have one, we have to cut the rest of them so we can make the mold of our snowboard so it has something that's gonna give it that nice nose and tail bend at the end. What we made is our press. So when snowboards are made, they get pressed and like squished down to make sure everything all works together. Since those cost a lot of money, I am making my own. So we'll use foam core and this on top to make sure it gets that nice form and that nice snowboard bend. This is the base of our snowboard. We have to make sure it is a perfectly smooth surface, which it is currently not because I am not a professional jigsawyer yet. But one day I will be. So we're gonna give these like a nice good sand, squish them together, let them dry, and make sure that we have a really nice form going forward. So I'm gonna be using Gorilla Glue. Doing this has really given me a new appreciation for my snowboard because snowboards are all handmade. So it's a couple days later. The glue has dried, which is really nice. And I actually learned how to use a planer, which is why we have so much wood on the ground, which was cool. So the rest that I have to do with this mold is sand it down and make sure it is perfectly smooth for the base of our snowboard to sit in. Speaking of base, I need a break from the mold that we're gonna make, and we're gonna actually go outline and start making our snowboard out of polywall and a Sharpie to outline our board. Here we are on the other side of the garage. We have our polywall and we have our snowboard here that we're going to use as an outline and a stencil essentially to make our snowboard. And this is a great material because it is non-absorbent, water just falls off of it, and it's gonna make a great base for our snowboard. Okay, so we have our box cutter. I'm gonna go ahead and cut once and then cut twice through our polywall and outline that I haven't made here. Okay, this is super exciting. This is the base of our snowboard. So this will be what is waxed and coated and has contact with the snow, which is super cool. Next thing we need to take a look at is going to be these guys. This is going to be the edge of our snowboard. They have these nice L brackets. You can find these in the tile area. Before we get this on the snowboard, we need to put some notches and measure this out correctly because this needs to be able to bend and hug the edge of our snowboard. We're taking a break from the actual board and we are back at our mold because this has to be finished before we can progress any further on our build and our project. So I planed this surface here, but the planer didn't really like this rounded edge right here, so we got some stuff to buff out. We're back many sanding days later. I finally got our mold nice and smooth like we talked about it needing to be incredibly smooth for our snowboard base to sit in because this is what is going to give our snowboard its bend. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press this in here and it's gonna give us a nice tip and tail bend that you see in all snowboards. But before we get there, we have to start doing the layup process and creating the core of our snowboard, which is right here behind me. Right here I have a very cheap fence post, 2 of them. So we have a center piece that's not split where we're going to put our bindings, and then we have a fence post that we split in half, and that's going to go on the outside. The reason we don't want to seam on the center of our board is because we're going to put our bindings on the center. So you don't want to have any cracks, creases, anything, because you want to make sure you have the most sturdy surface possible. All right, let's go ahead and put some hot glue in these seams. Another reason we can use hot glue is because we're going to put fiberglass all over this board and seal it really, really well, but this is just to basically fill. Our hot glue is all dried, so now it's time to plane down our plank. All right, we've planed and sanded, and you can see how much more flexible this board is now, and we have to have that flexibility for our board to bend and also bend in our mold that's down on the floor. So we're gonna drill some holes for them to go in so we can put our bindings on and tighten into them. To do this, we are going to be using dowels, the 6M, which is standard for snowboards. You can pick these up at any hardware store. And so they're basically gonna sit in like this and match these guys. So now that we have everything drilled into our board and we have where our bindings are gonna go, time to put this core piece to the side, and we're gonna get the base of our board for our next step, which is finally assembling everything together. And all we need for this next step is clamps. Okay, so our poly board has two textures. It has a very smooth side, and then it has this texture side. We want this texture side to meet where these notches are because we don't want this textured side on the ground. So we are going to take this and we're going to line it on the side that is textured, not our smooth side, because this smooth side is going to be what has contact with the snow. Our super glue is finally dry, and it is time for the most important step of this process, the layup. So I have my fiberglass cloth here, and we have this glaze coat, and we're gonna do a layer on here. This is normally used for bar tops and other tables, so this will be perfect for using it on our snowboard. And then we're going to use the core of our board, do another layer of fiberglass, and then put this on top. This is just to give a cool texture on top of our board. Also, our core is now a coffee core. Whoa. So that's good. So for this, it is a 1-to-1 ratio, and this will depend on whatever you decide to use for your glaze or resin. But for this one that you can find at your local hardware store, it is a 1-to-1 ratio. So this says to mix for 6 minutes and then pour into a new container and mix for another 6, or until it reaches 90 degrees. And now we stir for another 6 minutes. All right, we're gonna pour this on and then spread it with our spreader. So I'm going to do this in halves so that it's a little bit more manageable and I can make sure that everything goes smoothly. And the one thing I learned with fiberglass is to lay more of it. So like give yourself a decent amount of space on both ends. And then you're going to smooth it out. And anywhere that is lacking, like soakage, that's what I'm gonna call it, you can pour more on top. So for anyone that's curious about why we're fiberglassing our snowboard, this is going to hold together our layers and give us a really, really strong strength. So basically this turns to plastic once it sets and just really creates a really nice bond for us. Okay, so we've got our base done. We have the fiberglass layer, and now we're going to put our core on. So this is just gonna sit like so. Make sure it's all lined up. So we laid our core down, and now let's mix up some more resin to lay on top of this, do one more layer of fiberglass, and then we'll lay our top sheet and then press the whole board so it all becomes one snowboard sandwich. And then we're gonna let it sit for like 48 hours with some really heavy stuff on top so it gets a really nice bend. And we're also gonna take some styrofoam that goes on top of this so that it really nice press and nice finish. This has been quite the project. So as you can see, the doer is not on top of these boards. We realized it wasn't enough weight, and so we went with clamps, and then we realized that we didn't have enough clamps, so I had to run to Home Depot really quick, and then we had to figure out how to get these boards on here as well. It was a whole thing. Anyway, we are here. It has been sitting for 2 days. I'm not sure if it is bent the way it is supposed to be bent. I don't know if I thinned out the core enough, but we're going to find out. This is not supposed to happen. Fiberglass, because it got so shifted, it is bubbled and cracked and is not supposed to be bubbled or cracked. But it's one piece! Let's cut off this excess fiberglass and see what we really got going on here. We cut off the excess fiberglass and used gloves, by the way. I didn't, and that was a mistake. And now we're gonna go clean this board up and see what we can get out of it. Guys, it's been 2 days later again, but it is done. It is finished, and we have a snowboard. I used the jigsaw to cut the rest of it out, laid some vinyl over top of it to give it this cool graphic, cut out where my boots will go on the snowboard, and that's it. Now it is a little rough around the edges, and unfortunately I couldn't buff out those scratches.
Don't worry, Captain, we'll buff out those scratches.
Now I can't necessarily say it is worth it to build your own snowboard unless you're a master woodworker, work at Burton, you build snowboards for a living, you do this for fun, or you just have a snowboard press laying around your house. But if you want to expand your skill set and learn something new, this is a great place to start. Now before you go to the comments and slay me with all the things of, but you didn't test it. We wanted to, but it's spring in Utah, and so we just got rain, and then we got snow, and then we got rain, and it's just not conducive to test a snowboard because there's no snow anymore. So definitely worth the buy, not the build. Now if there's anything you want to see us build versus buy, let us know in the comments below because we'd love to check it out. And if you're ready to, check out this TKOR rabbit hole that we've prepared for you right here so you can check out some of our other videos.